first important to understand what your skin type is, what the season is, and how your skin needs to be in tune with it, how your gut can respond differently. All of this is important right now to get you the breakdown. We have Dr. Agni Kumar Bose with us. He's a dermatologist. He's with us on the show right now. Agni, we're starting you off with just the most basic question. Tell our audiences, how do you understand your skin type? And is that breakdown normal, oily combination the correct way to go, or is there more?
Okay, so good morning, Toya. Good morning, Sonal. And thank you so much for having me. And so I'll answer your question with most of the people in this world fall under the combination skin type. Okay. So it's a spectrum like this. Combination is in the middle. Oily skin is on one side and dry skin is on one side. In our teenage years, most of us invariably have oily skin. At our age, most of us have combination skin, and then we start progressing towards the dry spectrum. And post 40, post 50, post menopause, we all end up, and post andropause, we all end up going towards the dry skin spectrum. So the best way to identify would be to go to a dermatologist. But if you don't have access to one, the rule of thumb would be if you're in your 30s, 40s, you're in the combination skin type. And because of that, it's very important because certain products work well for certain skin types. It's not a one size fits all. So we need to be wary of that.
Right. Okay. But Dr. Agni, tell me this, you're right that everybody has a very unique skin and thus a very unique treatment needs to be given to them. But if there were, say, the top 5 mantras one could really swear by, what would those be?
Okay, so when most of my patients ask me, Dr. Agni, tell me one thing, that one hat which will change our skin, tell me that one product that should apply to my skin to make it glow. I tell them skincare doesn't start from outside, skincare starts from inside. Okay. So because everything in your body is connected, your skin is the largest organ of the body. So whatever you eat, whatever you drink, whatever you inhale, everything shows on your skin. You cannot run a Ferrari car on CNG and expect it to give you good speed. Okay. So you need to, what I tell all my patients is, number one, I start with eat the rainbow, which means you eat foods of as many different colors as you can: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Automatically, you end up getting all your antioxidants, all your micronutrients, all your trace elements, everything. You never need to take a supplement if your diet is proper. You need to drink adequate water. You need to sleep well. They don't call it 8 hours of beauty sleep just like that. So we need to get our adequate rest. And of course, this is something which all of us lack in, and we really try level best, but we try to exercise. Because that exercise, it flushes away a lot of the toxins, it releases, it decreases your stress levels, it actually makes your skin glow. Okay. But if you ask me what is that one thing, one ingredient, I would say sunscreen. Because sunscreen is what will stop your external signs of aging. Not stop, it will delay it, it will retard it, your external signs of aging. Your intrinsic aging is something nobody can change. That is what your chronological age is. But externally, the number one cause of aging is sun damage. So sunscreen in adequate quantity is what I would tell my patients.
Doctor, can you tell us?
So that's a good point.
Yeah. No, do go ahead, Sonal. You're right.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Because your point is that, sunscreen is the important thing to use. But that brings us to this question of sometimes when we put sunscreen on, Doctor, at least I feel it has a toxic feel to it. I don't know if that's the right, the fair phrasing, but it feels heavy. Sometimes it leaves a weird taste if it by mistake gets in, around your lip area. I just want to ask, I know a lot of people say that natural is the way to go. Coconut oil is, for example, what a friend uses. She slathers herself with coconut oil every time she steps out. Anything in the natural department for those who want to stay away from that heavy chemical feeling.
Fair enough. So basically what you're experiencing is one of the most common complaints that a lot of our patients come back to us with, that the sunscreen feels too heavy, or as they say it, bahut chip lagta hai, because it feels very, very heavy on the skin. It feels unnatural. And that's because you're using a cream-based product, which probably doesn't suit your skin. What you need to be using is more of a gel-based product, more of a liquid, fluid-based product. So the product itself is wrong. So sunscreens are for different skin types. I mean, I would recommend that you first change your sunscreen. But going towards the natural route, and you spoke about your friend lathering a lot of coconut oil, and your friend can get away with it because your friend has dry skin. Because if your friend did not have dry skin and your friend was lathering coconut oil all over their face and their bodies, they would get beautiful pimples because it would clog their pores and they would get breakouts. So again, I wouldn't recommend coconut oil as a form of sun protection. But if you had to go the natural way, then number one is physical sun protection, where you physically cover yourself with a hat, with a large brimmed hat, with a scarf, with an umbrella. You wear. So if you look at a lot of the traditional clothing across the globe in societies which have heavy sun exposure, you'll realize that their attire is also proportional to how much sun exposure they have. So one would assume that if I live in a desert, I shouldn't wear anything. I should roam around shirtless. No, on the contrary, people who live in deserts, you'll notice they wear a headband. I mean, they wear a headgear. They wear loose white cloth.
Yeah.
So it's because the loose clothing traps the air inside and it helps insulate you. So that's your traditional method of sun protection. Then there's one more thing which you could do is you could incorporate oral sunscreens, which also are found in our diet. You don't have to take oral sunscreen tablets because which are there in the market, but oral sunscreen tablets are literally nothing but antioxidants. So your astaxanthin, which is found in a lot of your green leafy vegetables, in seafood, lutein, which is found in tomatoes, lycopene, which is also found in tomatoes and apples. So basically, you also eat a lot of foods which contain antioxidants, and that works like a natural oral sunscreen.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point on eating. I've never had anybody address him as natural or eating your sun protection over there. So that's an interesting one. But Dr. Agni, very quickly, I want to understand, since we are on the topic of summer and you said exercise is so important. But the fact is, if you go out and exercise in this heat, I don't know if you're doing more damage to your skin. And so could you tell us some hacks on, especially for kids? Summer holidays are here. Kids want to be out playing or want to be out in the pool all the time. You know what chlorine and sun and that combination can really do to them. There are athletes who still want to go, or fit people who still want to go out and play. Any hacks for them?
Okay, so slight change here. The problem is not the heat, the problem is the sun. Because the heat will also be there at night, okay? Because we all live in concrete jungles, the buildings absorb so much heat, so heat will also be there at night. Heat is not your enemy, sunlight is. So if you want to play sports, if you want to run before sunrise. Or, I mean, if you want good skin at the same time, most runners, they start their run by 5:36 in the morning when the sun is not out. And they end up running till about 7:38. Most of them do not use sunscreen. Why? Because we are leaving the house when it's still dark. Who needs sunscreen? But what they don't realize is by the time they finish their run, it's peak sunlight hours. So for runners, for athletes who are on dry ground, please use sunscreen properly. Now, what is the actual ratio? The actual ratio is 2 fingers full of sunscreen for the face and the neck. And you can accordingly do the math and use it for the rest of the body, right? Now, this is your ideal situation. This is what we learned in school, Adarsh Balak, in the 90s, that this is what an ideal situation is. And ideally, one is supposed to reapply it every 4 hours. Most of us are guilty of not doing that. So I can give you that concession. But at least 2 fingers full of sunscreen on the face and the neck before you leave the house in the morning for athletes who are running. Now, if you're a swimmer and you spoke about chlorinated water. So kids and chlorinated water. So look for a sunscreen, look for the label, read the label properly. It should have either water resistant or water repellent written on it. If a sunscreen is water resistant or water repellent, they will have to specify it, because water resistant means that water repellent means it provides you protection for 2 hours in water, and water resistant means that it provides you protection for 4 hours in water. So just read the label properly. And for children, as per the guidelines, sunscreen is not really recommended for a child less than 6 months of age. We don't really have sufficient studies. And anyway, a child less than 6 months of age will be swaddled by the parents, will be properly protected, will be properly covered. You don't see 6 months old babies crawling without any adult supervision. So keep the child indoors. And until and unless the child has a photosensitive dermatological disorder, maybe like xeroderma pigmentosum, Bloom syndrome, childhood lupus erythematosus, in that case where they actually need sun protection, like sunscreen, let the children be children.
So, okay, Dr.
It's okay,
Bose,
they'll just...
Dr. Bose,
Okay,
thank you.
okay.
You've given us so many different takeaways, right from you can actually eat your sunscreen in a manner with antioxidants to the right kind of
Yes, you
sunscreen to put on, the 2 fingers. We'll always remember that. Thank you, Dr. Agni Bose, for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so that was Dr. Bose, and that was all about skincare. But ladies, we know another pain point when it comes to the summer, which is your makeup. So we thought we'll bring you the person whose hands have been creating magic, not just on celebrities, but somebody even getting all your bridal dreams come true. The country's best known makeup artist, Namrata Soni, is here with us in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning,
How are you
Sonal.
doing today?
Very well. Thank you for having me, Sonal and Toya.
Yeah, so Namrata, you just heard the dermat over there,
Yes.
right? So the doctor talked about the importance of getting the right things. But when it comes to makeup, you know, the one thing that always troubles people today is that there are just so many options out there. We live in an Instagram world where there are so many brands that pop up and they are, you know, crying for your attention. What is the process, or how do you choose the right brand for your skin?
Okay, so what I would say is first figure out the kind of makeup you like. Do you want to be someone who wants vegan, clean, organic? That plays a very important role in the kind of makeup you want to put on your skin. There are brands today that do all of them. And what's important is that use non-comedogenic products, something that's not going to make your skin break out, something that's not going to clog your pores. We live, like you said, in India, which is extremely hot, dry heat and humid heat. And that means your skin is going to get completely clogged up. So again, more than just using the right products, also removing your makeup at the end of the day is of the utmost importance. We get so lazy when we go back home that we don't do it. So remember your cleansing routine along with good quality products. I would say invest in good quality products. So if I'm talking about brands, I would say some of my favorites would be like Bobbi Brown, it would be Estee Lauder, it would be, you know, NARS, it would be Simply Nam, it would be, there are tons again. Just do your research on what you want to put
You
on
have
your
to see
face.
what suits your skin. So there's no one size fit all again in
No,
that
it never
approach.
can
Yeah,
be.
Yeah. Toya has a question
Yeah,
for you.
Namrata, can you also tell us, you talked right now about clean, vegan, organic. These have become buzzwords, especially over the last few years. I know sometimes there'll actually be like a little 2-leaf symbol behind some products. Can you just tell us the difference between clean and organic, for example? And as a good starting point, if the data is overwhelming us, what's a good starting point?
So I think what you need to understand is the difference between the three. So if you are someone who wants vegan is something that is not tested on animals. It has no animal or animal byproducts in the ingredients. And you should be looking out for ingredients such as organic argan oil, organic jojoba oil, you know, squalene, niacinamide. These are beautiful ingredients that you should look out for in your color cosmetics today, especially because color cosmetics and skincare is infused in everything that you do. So I love that. And then if you're looking out for, say, organic, that's basically non-toxic. There is no kind of pesticides or herbicides that have been used to cultivate those ingredients that you are putting in your color cosmetics and which is eventually going on your skin. And then, of course, you have clean beauty, which is non-toxic. Clean beauty can also be derived from a little bit of synthetic ingredients which are lab grown and of course which are absolutely natural. So the line is really blurry, so definitely read up on the brand that you want to put on your face and what kind of certifications they have on their website and how transparent they are being with what ingredients they're putting on their website.
Reading the labels is like the mantra for the year, from food to cosmetics to everything else as well. But how can we have Namrata in the studio and not make her, you know, run her magic? So we thought we'll put Namrata through a quick challenge. Are you ready for that, Namrata?
Very excited.
Okay, so we've got, here, let's move to that station there. So what we'll get Namrata to do now is a quick demo. We've got Shagun here and Ishita. Hi, good morning. Now, Shagun and Ishita, both very hardworking producers with the network, but they woke up early in the morning because they wanted to understand how this is going to work. So, Namrata, the challenge is that you work with celebrities who have great skin and you have hours to sort of make it work with them. But these girls have only 5 minutes, morning or day. So, if you had 5 minutes to just oomph up their face, how would you do it? And a twist to the story over there is if I only gave you 3 products.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to do day and night? You want to run like that? Okay, so are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, should we start the timer then? All right, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my God, okay. So I always start with a lovely blush. I think a blush.
We'll just wait for those visuals to come in. Those are visuals coming in and Namrata will be doing that challenge for us in just a few minutes. Remember, the challenge with getting your makeup right in the summertime obviously is it can sweat off. So setting it in the correct way, using the right products. So do you want to go for a skin tint that is thinner, a foundation that is much thicker? But remember, the downside with something like a skin tint, which we talked about earlier, is that it can melt away, even though it gives you that translucent look that is so much in the trend these days. On the other side, you have something thicker like a foundation. The problem with foundation in the sweatier moments of the summer is it can of course clump up. So you might have seen this happen to you if you're a woman who wears makeup. A few hours in, you actually have your foundation clumping up in different areas. So we have Namrata Soni, as you can see, joining us in the Mumbai studio. She's telling us the pointers of how to identify a clean product. And the tricky thing with all of this is, of course, that ingredient products can sound quite complicated. You know this if you're a woman or a man who's gone out there, you've looked at a product, a makeup product in particular, you want to use a foundation, and you're immediately met with a bunch of ingredients that sound much, much more complicated. So what can you look on? Number one, as you can see, you can focus on safety. So any kind of product that advertises itself for consumers in a safe way. That's something to look out for. As Namrata did for us earlier, there are products that she's actually named for us. So Bobbi Brown, for example, NARS, for example, these are safer cosmetic brands. These are brands that you can go ahead and trust. She also talked about ingredients. So for example, squalene, other plant protein types. These are ingredients that you can actually look for in your makeup and cosmetics. Let's go over back to Mumbai, where Namrata, remember, is joining us with that very interesting challenge. In 5 minutes, only 3 products, daytime and nighttime look. Let's take a look.
Okay, we promise we weren't cheating in the time that we tossed back to Toya. We were doing some other kind of fixing some technical glitches over there, but it's time to fix the face now. So Namrata, 5 minutes, start now.
Okay, so if you are someone who, like we were talking about, you sweat a lot and we live in a country where it's so hot and humid. So I love using powder blushes in the daytime because it just allows your skin to look fresh, but at the same time, it just sets your makeup really well. So I love using a palette which has 2 colors. I always use a, blush brush. Give me a small little smile. Outer apples of the cheek going high into the cheekbones will lift your face. It will give you a lovely chisel look and it just looks fabulous through the day. So I love doing this. I mix 2 colors always. So basically, guideline is right above your cheekbones. Keep your brush right there and just right there, outer apples of the cheek. Yeah. And
there's a whole debate on where the blush should be put.
So actually, honestly speaking, it depends on what kind of lift you want on your face. So if you have a very skinny face, go into the apples of your cheek. Okay. If you have a slightly larger face but you want a lift to your face, go in high cheekbones, outer apples of the cheek.
Angular.
Make it angular. Go into where you would do your contour, and it works brilliantly. What I also love to do in the day.
Product number 1 is done.
This is the same product I'm using on the eyes now.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to add a lovely, beautiful, pinky glow to the eyes for the day. It's great because, you also land up feeling a little dull and tired, especially after a long, morning.
Yeah.
So I always take the same, like a beautiful, peachy glow on the eyelids.
So
and
this is
it
a 2-in-1 product.
It's a 2-in-1 product that works brilliantly.
Ishita is smiling on that one.
She has such a lovely eye color. So the pink and the gold in it will actually make it pop and look very pretty.
Nice.
Okay, so I love doing that when I'm working in,
So we're on the timer, about 40 seconds left.
Okay, and I'm going to finish this off with a lovely lip tint. I love a lip tint because it just allows your lips to breathe. At the same time, it's a pH-infused lip oil, which adds a lovely color. It basically takes the unique chemistry of your skin and it allows your lips to get as pink as you would want it to. So that's what I love about, you know, tinted lip oils, tinted balms.
So,
and for
Sonal,
me,
just tell us what were
that
the 3
is
products
perfect for the day.
for this look.
So just 2 actually.
Yeah.
So I've just done it with 2 products. That's a blush palette with 2 colors in it and a tinted lip oil. And of course, if you want a little glow, you can even add it on your skin.
Oh, not bad. And one second, I stand corrected over here. There's still about 2 minutes 40 left and we are done. Ishita, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling lovely. I look lovely.
Nice. So it's time to reset the clock. You've outdone yourself, Namrata.
I mean, if you give me more time, I'll put more products. But that's normal.
Okay, but let's move to a nighttime routine
Yes.
now, okay?
Okay.
So I know Shagun will be like, you know, I'm called to office so early in the morning and what if I want to go and have a good time in the evening? What do I carry in my purse so I can go from a daytime look to a nighttime look and do that quickly?
Okay, so for the night, what I love is that little balmy glow on the skin, which normally you try and avoid in the day. So I go in for a cream blush. Again, you can use it with your fingertips, you can use it with a blush brush. Again, for her, outer apples of the cheek, going high up into your cheekbones. It's a very dewy, beautiful formulation. I love that about creams and liquids because it just allows your skin to look like you're glowing and you've just done hot yoga and you've come out and you look like amazing.
In Bombay, you don't need that.
You don't need that.
You just put any blush, it'll become dewy in like half an hour. That's the weather.
That's the weather, but I think at night you still land up going to like places which have a lot of air conditioning. You know, in the day you still need something that you don't have to keep touching up, but at night this works
So how do you
brilliantly.
choose the right color for your face?
I think you need to understand what your undertones are. Undertones play a huge important role, but things like peachy pinks, lovely tangerine colors, lovely berry colors, they work brilliantly on most skin tones in India. Another thing I like to do is I use the same thing on the lip to give me a little bit of color. And this works again, it's a beautiful
So
tint.
2 in 1 has become 3 in 1 now.
Yeah. And so this becomes just a lovely, lovely shade on the lips. And I just love the way, you know, tinted balms and tinted blush-ons look on the skin. You can actually see it really brightens that up. And that's product number 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go in with a little bit of a kajal pencil. I love a bronze
night
pencil
drama.
for the night.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make her look up and I'm going to go underneath the bottom waterline.
It's a bronze.
It's a bronze. I love bronze. I think that it just is so soft. And of course, there are a lot of people who don't like black or don't like dark colors. So again, I've got a smudger on the other side. So I'm just going to go in and just diffuse the edges of the product. And of course, depending on how much intensity you want, you can even go into your waterline.
I like how kajals have evolved from being on the waterline to
Yes.
under the waterline.
I love
It's
that.
just-
I only wear it like that,
Yeah.
honestly.
So there
You
was a
know?
time when our mothers would actually do the kajal and
And then they would put a tika here.
Yeah.
and a tika here, but nazar nahi lage. So for me, this is all I need to do
Not bad.
when, I mean, she's got lipstick. Like that.
And how much time do we still have 2 minutes left? I think I gave you a very easy challenge. Amrita.
did.
Next time,
You did.
Next time I'll put the clock to only 3.
No, but you know what you need to remember is if you have the right products, you don't need much time to get ready. You know, of course, in the summer, please carry a compact powder, carry a setting powder. It does a brilliant job in making sure that your skin doesn't remain sweaty, it doesn't look too oily, especially your T-zone. And also what products you apply before you start makeup. Your skin prep is really important. You know, like how we heard the doctor, the skin doctor tell us that it's so important to understand what your skin type is. So if you're someone who has oily skin, use gel moisturizers, serum moisturizers, because it's lighter, your makeup
Stay
will
away
stay
from
heavy,
oils,
heavy
maybe even
creams.
clean products for that matter, because
Of
vegan have
course.
very, they're
very
concentrated.
heavy. They're
Yeah,
very heavy.
yeah.
And what lands up happening is that the minute you step out in the heat, you're going to sweat and perspire all that, however beautiful you may look in the AC or in your
Namrata,
bathroom.
tell us, for
gonna
that
affect
reason,
it.
if you're stepping out, skin
Right.
tint or foundation on the base?
When you're stepping out in the day, I would say a skin tint. If
But
you're
it doesn't
stepping out
melt
at
off,
night, I would say-
especially in Bombay or Delhi?
No, it doesn't. It's
Okay.
No, it depends on what you use underneath your skin to apply it. So like I said, your skin prep. So use a skin primer meant for your skin type. So use a gel-based or a serum-based if you are oily or combination. And if you have very dry skin, use a nice non-comedogenic hydrating moisturizer or primer for your skin. Once you do that, it actually adapts to what your skin type is and it allows your makeup to last and stay much longer.
Right. Okay. So what have we learned today? Number one, use a sunscreen. That's your step number one. Number two, use a primer which suits your skin, and that you don't need more than 3 products, sometimes even 2, to go from a day look to a night look. So that was our tip. So guys, go out and try it out and let us know in your feedback what you felt about it. For now, thank you so much, Namrata. It was so lovely to start our morning bright and dewy, as she was saying. On that note, we're going to slip into a quick break. Be back in a moment with lots more.
Back to the Breakfast Club. We love to keep you up to date with stories that are happening across the country and the world too. Let's take a look. The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI, they've released an advisory in which they've stated the ban of the commercial sale of human milk under the FSS Act of 2006. The food safety body has banned the sale of human milk and its products. This is because, as per reports, the statutory body has also cancelled the license of a Bengaluru-based company. This is Neolacta. The company was involved in the commercialization of human milk.
A writ petition has been filed in the Supreme Court seeking directions to amend the Advocate Act of 1961. The petition asks for exempting lawyers from wearing the traditional black coats and gowns during the summer months. The petition further seeks to direct the state bar councils to determine months of prevailing summer for each state so that the traditional uniform for the lawyers can be exempted.
We've been covering heat stories in India, but now let's take you to Mexico, where the death of monkeys is being reported due to heat, and the death toll has reached 157. One animal park in northern Mexico has confirmed that at least 100 parrots, bats and other animals have died because of dehydration. A heat dome was actually centered over the southern block of Mexico that's blocked the process of cloud forming. As a result, Mexico is actually witnessing extensive sunshine and hot temperatures.
Research from the London School of Economics and Political Science has found that fewer women are amongst the top earners in British financial and professional services. Women have made up 19.4% of the top 1% of the earners between the first quarter of 2020 to the second quarter of 2023. The report also claims the lack of progression of women in the financial and professional services is a major reason of gender pay gap.
And Truecaller has introduced a new feature that will allow its subscribers to use AI-powered assistants to answer calls in their own voices. This breakthrough was announced after Truecaller went for a collaboration with tech giant Microsoft. This is the personal voice technology of Microsoft, and this feature will only be available to paid users.
Global condemnation of the deadly strike on the tent camp in Gaza's Rafah continues to grow as the phase all eyes on Rafah flooded world social media on Tuesday. Attacks, however, continue despite a ruling by the top UN Court for International Court of Justice on Friday ordering Israel to halt its operations in Rafah and withdraw from the enclave. But despite that, the strikes continue.
We're now moving to a different story as millions seek access to weight loss drugs from Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. Increasing supplies, possible wider usage and a growing number of would-be rivals are leading some experts to raise annual global sales forecasts for the treatments to $150 billion by the early 2030s. Take a look.
Some healthcare analysts have raised their annual sales forecasts for weight loss drugs by around 50% to about $150 billion by the early 2030s. One tells Reuters the medications, including Wegovy from Novo Nordisk and Zepbound from Eli Lilly, have captured the imagination of millions of people. Most insurers do not cover the new therapies with low co-payments, but an unprecedented percentage of people are paying themselves or with coupons from drug manufacturers, the analyst said. Recent data showing the self-injected drugs help stave off costly emergencies like heart attack and stroke or treat chronic conditions like sleep apnea could lead employers and insurers to pay for them, analysts say. Shortages cap sales in 2023, though manufacturers are increasing production. Sales of the new medications, which have U.S. list prices of over $1,000 a month, have lifted Lilly and Novo into the ranks of the world's most valuable companies. Shares in Lilly are up 36% so far this year, while Novo has gained 33%. One analyst says at least 80 experimental obesity drugs have reached the human testing stage.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Club. On Saturday evening, a fire erupted at the Baby Care Newborn Hospital in Delhi's Vivek Vihar. And as authorities continue to investigate how it happened, on TBC, we actually want to spotlight some of the stories of heroes that are emerging.
There is a particular Vivek Narang, a resident of the area, who spotted the fire, and his quick thinking led to saving so many lives. There are also, of course, those who saved lives from the fire department, who without any fear jumped into it and also came out. These are the real heroes that we want to celebrate. Take a look.
On Saturday night, a deadly fire broke out in Delhi's Vivek Vihar. 7 newborn babies lost their lives. As investigations carry on to understand where the lapses happen, we bring you the story of the heroes. Those who risk their own lives to save new life. This is Vinay Narang, who heads the C Block RWA. His timely action saved 5 lives.
I went to the backside of the hospital. There I saw a small human chain was there, and somebody was on the first floor, and he was giving children to ladies, and I was the last one in the row. I got the children. In fact, we got 5. We rushed them to my car, and what I did, because I knew these children were in oxygen, and because daycare means intensive care of the children, these daycare centers are for premature babies or the babies who are with a difficulty when they are given birth. So I opened the AC of my car because they were coming from the very hot sort of atmosphere. And then I called ladies. One of my neighbor came, one from my backside of my house neighbor came, and they all with me in the car along with the 2 attendants. We rushed to the first hospital, Gupta, I think it was Gupta multi-speciality. He simply refused, I'm not going to help you. And it was a shock. Then I realized that on the right side there is one more hospital, Singh Nursing Home. But it was a daycare center. I rushed to the first floor, I shouted, it was closed, but I don't know from where the people came. 2 of the person came, sir, we are open. Tell me what we have to do. Let's open your nursery. They opened the nursery, all the 5 children along with those 2 attendants were put in there, and touch wood, children are safe.
These are the ordinary citizens who acted in the spur of the moment. At the scene were also the Delhi Fire Services. They described to us just how complex the rescue operation was.
इतनी हीट थी कि मैंने सोचा कि बच्चे कैसे रह पा रहे हैं, उनको निकालना जल्दी होगा। हमने बिना सोचे समझे अपनी जान पे खेल के उनको बच्चे को बाहर निकाला, और बच्चे को जैसे ही बाहर निकाला तो पानी हमने शुरू कर दिया था, क्योंकि हीट भी बहुत भयंकर था और आग भी थी। हमसे पहले धमाका हुआ, बिल्डिंग पूरी डैमेज हो चुकी थी।
As investigations into how the fire happened continue, Delhi salutes the heroes who put their own lives on the line. With Anvit Srivastav, Bureau Reports, CNN News 18.
All right, to Vinay Narang and so many out there who help in such distressful times, we salute you. Thank you for doing what you do. And it's a great, great tragedy that unfolded in the national capital. But, these are the times when we really need to question what's really happening and what kind of facilities are really being provided by the hospitals as well. But let's move on now from that. We've given you all the information out there, but we started the program talking about how hot it is. Let's tell you how exactly it is right now, how hot it has become right now as parts of the country are seeing record-breaking temperatures. Delhi on Tuesday recorded its all-time high maximum temperature as the mercury touched 49.9 degrees Celsius.
Quite literally historic times. According to the IMD, the Indian Meteorological Department, some areas around Delhi, so you had Mungeshpur, for example, Narela, for example, they were registering 49.9 degrees Celsius. This is 9 whole degrees above what you normally have at this time of the year. From TBC, we just want to tell you once again, take care of yourself and of course, look out for others, especially those who have to be outside in the heat, who have to work in the heat. Look out for them as much as you can. We're going to head into a quick break. On the other side, more on The Breakfast Club.
बंद करो फिर मैं
लाइट वाला हटा रहा है लाइट आप तो 2-3 मिनट बाद भी कर देना अब कौन सी जगह से अच्छा मिल पाएगा सुबह जाए वो तो जल्दी सो गए रिप्लाई नहीं दिया
Welcome back. Next, we're going to take you to strawberry fields forever, the strawberry villages of Kashmir. Families there are busy harvesting strawberries. It's the first produce of the season in the Kashmir region after a long winter.
And due to the erratic weather conditions, the climate change, the overall generation of crop has been affected as well. But the red crop continues to flood the market now. Ishan Wani is in middle of those strawberry farms and he brings us this report.
Surrounded by breathtaking snow-capped peaks is this Gasoo village on the Srinagar's outskirts, which is famous for red strawberries. This place started strawberry cultivation around 20 years back, and today results are right in front of you. This particular village gets busy during May when the strawberry is ready to get harvested. This is known also as Strawberry Village of Kashmir.
Almost every family in this scenic rural town is involved in strawberry farming. Since their shelf life is short, men and women gather at the break of dawn in their fields to pick strawberries. The strawberries are grown organically, free from any chemicals, and are sent to the markets immediately so that they can retain their freshness.
स्ट्रॉबेरी यहाँ पे गासू विलेज इसको कहते हैं स्ट्रॉबेरी विलेज ही कहते हैं इसको फार्मर्स बहुत पहले से करते आए पहले कुछ कनाल से स्टार्ट किया फिर उनको प्रॉफिट लगा तो उन्होंने एक्सपेंड किया इसको लेकिन मेहनत भी बहुत लगती है इसमें मई जून में तैयार होती है मई में ऑलमोस्ट हम इसको उठाते हैं स्ट्रॉबेरी काटने लग जाते हैं इसमें लेकिन मेहनत इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा लगती है मार्केट में जो फर्टिलाइज़र आता है वो हम यूज़ नहीं करते इसमें नेचुरली काउ डंग जो होता है उसको स्टोर करते हैं डिकम्पोज होती है वही यूज़ करते हैं बिल्कुल नेचुरली होती है लेकिन जो माहिर होते हैं यहाँ पर स्कॉस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी है उनका रोल उतना नहीं रहता रहता है इस स्ट्रॉबेरी में, अगर वो रोल इसमें रखेंगे, इसमें नमी रहनी चाहिए ज़मीन में। देखिए आजकल मौसम बहुत ही इरेगुलरली चेंज होता है, उस वजह इसमें इफेक्ट पड़ता है माल इसमें प्रोडक्ट में बहुत ज़्यादा। इस साल बहुत ही कम प्रोडक्ट निकला क्योंकि मौसम इरेगुलरली चेंज हो गया। स्टार्टिंग में इसको बारिश ज़्यादा हो गई तो जो निकल गए थे स्ट्रॉबेरी वो ख़राब हो गए थे, फिर अब ज़्यादा धूप आ गई, तो इरेगुलरली जो मौसम चेंज होता है उस वजह से इसमें इफेक्ट पड़ जाता है।
Strawberry farming was introduced in Kashmir not too long ago. Given its favorable weather conditions, it has generated employment for locals in the valley. Tons of strawberries are being produced by the farmers in the valley, but this time, the weather has affected the production. Farmers have also long demanded the cold storage facility for the produce, as it has a very short shelf life.
यहाँ एक फार्मर को जो बेसिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है ना उसकी कमी है। फॉर एग्जांपल अभी एक फार्मर है यहाँ पे, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं यहाँ पे भी स्ट्रॉबेरी कल्टीवेट कर रहा हूँ। अभी मुझे खाली इतना पता है कि स्ट्रॉबेरी का एक छोटा सा पेड़ लाना है, ज़मीन में देना है और उसके बाद एट द एंड आपको ये मई जून में आपको ये ना हार्वेस्ट करना है, बस इतना सा मुझे पता है। एक प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट इन बेचारों को नहीं पता है, एक प्रॉपर मैनेजमेंट एक फार्मर को बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता। जैसे अगर आप इसके पत्ते भी देख सकते हैं कितनी बीमारियाँ इसमें लगी हुई है। इन बीमारियों को रोकने के लिए अगर आप नीचे भी देखेंगे बहुत सारा फ्रूट ज़ाया भी हुआ है, तो ये ज़ाया होने से भी हम बचा सकते हैं। एक फार्मर को कितनी मेहनत एक ऑर्चर्ड में करनी पड़ती है ये हम फार्मर ही जानते हैं। जैसे कोल्ड स्टोरेज शोपियां डिस्ट्रिक्ट में है, कोल्ड स्टोरेज लासीपुरा साइड से है, अगर वो कोल्ड स्टोरेज का सिस्टम यहाँ पे हो तो ये स्ट्रॉबेरी कुछ टाइम के लिए, एक लिमिटेड पीरियड के लिए हम उनको स्टेन कर सकते हैं।
In the last few years, more and more farmers have converted their land into strawberry farms.
This is the first harvest of the season in Kashmir Valley when the strawberries get ready. This will be followed by cherry and other fruits as well, which are freshly harvested. This fruit does not need any chemicals. This is cultivated using the cow dung, and then it's ready, red and sent to markets in Kashmir Valley, where they're not only giving business opportunities to these farmers to have an alternate crop in their field where they already are cultivating apples, but also an additional source of income which over the years has only flourished. With Bashir Loon in Srinagar, Ishanwani for CNN News 18.
India's #1.
Welcome back to the Breakfast Club. We're now going to take you to a special section on financial markets powered by Money Control Pro, Money Control's premium destination for investing and business insights. Let's take a look. So first we'll take a look at markets. GIFT Nifty indicating a soft opening for the Indian stock markets. Crude oil prices rising on fears that producers may maintain production cuts. US markets are closing higher, or they closed higher on buying in technology shares, and Asian markets are subdued in today's very early morning trade.
Let's look at sectors next. PSU stocks have been leaders in the current bull market. However, amid the overall positive outlook, sluggishness is creeping in. Has the valuation run far ahead of fundamentals? You can log into Money Control Pro to find out more about the PSU stocks along with other actionable insights. It is the premier destination for all the investing views and financial insights you will ever need, brought to you by Money Control. All right, with that, it's a wrap on today's edition. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. Until then, please stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. Bye-bye.
Right. Stay safe. Goodbye. See you.
सोचा
से आप चुनाव लड़ेंगे?
बीजेपी में सब कॉन्फिडेंट।
अब मुझे देश को तीसरी आर्थिक महाशक्ति बनाना।
Without Modi, no BJP is there in this country.
वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन हमारा संकल्प पत्र का मुद्दा है, उसको जमीन पर उतारने का पूरा प्रयास करेंगे।
मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि उनको 180-200 से ज्यादा मिलेगी। नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री नहीं होंगे।
जितना प्यार यहाँ हमें मिला है जनता से, उसके लिए तो 4 पीढ़ी और भी सेवा करते रहे तो पूरा नहीं होगा।
अमेठी के वोटर को फॉर ग्रांटेड लिया गया।
पहले दूसरे चरण में जनता ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ मतदान किया है।
10 साल में जो किया है कांग्रेस 60 साल नहीं करता।
यूनाइटेड नेशन कौन होता है हमारे बारे में कहने वाला? क्या इसके पहले फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस नहीं हुए थे?
Our CM has told a number of times that the people of Odisha will decide who will succeed him.
So Jagan has to pack his bag.
ना उनके पास कोई नेता है, ना कोई नेतृत्व है।
मोदी की गारंटी सीमित नहीं है, मोदी की गारंटी बाहर भी चलती है।
Brought to you by
Good morning, viewers. You're watching the morning news show on CNN News 18 with me, Kuhina Sharma. Well, on top of this bulletin, we're tracking some updates on Shankar Iyer, a senior Congress leader who's triggered a fresh controversy after he referred to the 1962 Indo-China War as an alleged Chinese invasion. Now, as a purported video of an event at the Foreign Correspondents Club on Tuesday, where Shankar Iyer made the statement, started circulating on social media. Now, Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh has also pointed out that his party colleague had subsequently apologized unreservedly for using the term alleged invasion mistakenly, and that the party distances itself from the original phraseology. Now, the BJP ID cell head Amit Malviya, however, on the other hand, has hit out at the Congress over Iyer's remark. Malviya said that Iyer referring to the Chinese invasion as alleged is a brazen attempt at revisionism.
In October 1962, the Chinese allegedly invaded India. On the day that Tawan fell, the Foreign Service exams began in London. When they were over, the newspapers used to make references to me as being very left-wing, as being a communist.
Well, this breaking input is also pertinent to Shankar Iyer's controversy, where he's now issued a clarification on the fact that he said, I used the expression alleged, but I should not have done so because we are in middle of elections. So these are the latest inputs that we are getting, where Shankar Iyer, the Congress leader, after stoking the controversy, has now issued a clarification suggesting that he used the expression alleged, but he should not have done so because we are in the middle of elections. So these are the latest inputs we are tracking on this controversy, where Congress leader Shankar Iyer has stoked yet another controversy by subsequently calling made a statement that started circulating on social media. Now, Congress General Secretary Jairam Ramesh has also pointed out the fact on this that his party colleague had subsequently apologized, especially after making the statement, and said that unreservedly for using the term alleged invasion mistakenly. Now that the party has already distanced itself from the original phraseology, Shankar Iyer has now issued a clarification and said that I should not have used the term in the middle of the elections is something also else that he's added on to his apology. Now, the original phraseology actually included the words alleged invasion and mistakenly. So these are the things that these are the words that have become a point of contention, especially with the opposition parties like BJP, where they have hit out at the Congress over Iyer's remark. Now, Malviya has said that Iyer referring to the Chinese invasion as alleged is a brazen attempt at revisionism. Now, Shankar Iyer has come to foray with clarification on the entire subject, where he is saying that he should have refrained due to politics and he should not have used the expression alleged amidst the ongoing election season in India. So these are the latest inputs that we are tracking at this point of time. Now, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Pallavi. A very good morning, Pallavi. A clarification has come in from Shankar Iyer. How do we see this in the larger picture of the controversy that has been stoked?
Well, Kuhina, it's not the first time this kind of a clarification has come in from Mr. Shankar Iyer, and it's also not the first time when the party has distanced itself from his comments. So the question which the BJP certainly would ask is, for how long will this keep on going on? Whether it was on Pakistan, whether it is on China, these remarks prove to be very damaging, and especially the worst part is it comes, when in the penultimate stage of campaigning. We know there's just another 2 days left to go. The Lok Sabha election finally ends, and this phase is also very critical because, for example, for the opposition parties, this becomes one in which many of them have their bastions, they want protected, and the BJP certainly wants to give their last push, and that last push is helped. Once you have comments which have come in from Shankar Iyer. He seems to have become a habitual offender, whether it is a chai wala jibe, whether it was a neech admi, and of course his earlier comments on Pakistan and now this one on China, which perhaps explains why the Congress party didn't want to waste time and quickly distance itself.
Right, Pallavi, thank you so much for bringing in all those details. Well, we'll keep coming back to this story as the day progresses and we get more political reactions on this. But now we're shifting our focus to some weather updates towards the northeastern side, where incessant rains and landslides in the aftermath of the cyclone Revanna have wreaked havoc in the northeast. Now, at least, according to the initial reports, 33 have died in northeast. There's a lot of power cut in the area. Internet has been snapped in Assam and Tripura. 4 have been killed and several remain injured in Assam. So these are the latest inputs that we're tracking at this point of time, where incessant rain and landslides in the aftermath of Cyclone Revanna have wreaked havoc in the northeast. Let's take a look at some of the visuals.
Two major rivers have resulted in significant flooding in a part of Imphal East and Imphal West. The water level has been rising steadily with a marked increase observed this morning. Despite the authorities' effort to contain the overflow until 2 a.m., they were unable to prevent further flooding. As a precaution, schools in the affected areas have been closed to ensure the safety of students and staff. Also, the Chief Minister N18L Singh personally inspected the flood-affected areas in Kangla yesterday. During his visit, he urged residents to remain calm and not to panic. Local residents are taking proactive measures by shifting their properties to safer locations in an effort to protect their belongings from the rising water.
अभी सबसे मिले हैं और इन लोगों का जो माने डेंजर एरिया में है उनको लाने का भी हम लोग व्यवस्था किए हैं, खाना पीना जो भी है उनको कर रहे हैं। सरकार की तरफ से भी हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं ताकि किसी को कोई समस्या ना हो। और अगरतला म्यूनसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन से भी व्यवस्था की है। डीएम साहब को भी मैंने बोल दिया, एसडीएम भी आ रहे हैं। इन लोगों से बात करके और एक मैंने बोल दिया है, बहुत लोग है ना घर छोड़ के नहीं आना चाहते हैं, तो बहुत लोग हैं छत के ऊपर अभी जो टीना है टीना के ऊपर अभी भी बैठे हो। तो मैंने कहा नहीं अभी आ जाओ, क्योंकि पहाड़ से पानी आता है ना, तो इसीलिए बढ़ रहा है अभी उसका पानी। मैंने कहा सबको सिक्योर्ड एरिया में ले आए, पहले से हम लोग ये कर रहे हैं, तो यहाँ पर आए हम। ये मेरा विधानसभा के अंतर्गत है।
Well, Preeti Priyadarshini joins us on the broadcast. A very good morning, Preeti. Heavy rainfall has triggered flood-like situation in Assam. Take us through the disaster readiness of Assam and especially what is happening on the ground at this point of time.
Yes, the entire northeast has been very badly affected by the cyclone, and we have seen that in Mizoram, a lot of people have lost their lives. At least total of 33 people have lost their lives in entire northeast region. And we have already talked about Mizoram, where 28 people have been killed, and 10 persons are still missing in Mizoram, where we saw that 14 have died in the stone quarry collapse in Meltham. And you have asked about particularly Assam. I would like to say that 4 people, the death count have now increased to 4. Yes, until yesterday it was 3 people who lost their lives, and today it has been updated that 4 people have now lost their lives in Assam. And we have seen that more alerts for rain in 9 districts of Assam are still there. The schools here have been alerted to remain closed. And we have seen that already in other places of northeast have also been affected. In Nagaland also 2 people have drowned in the Doyang Dam reservoir, and we have seen that over 200 houses have been damaged in a cyclonic storm in Meghalaya's Garo Hills region. We have already talked about the other places where it has affected a lot, and in Assam also there are rain alerts, where people have prepared for the worst, and even from the Chief Minister of Assam, it was issued. They have stated that the NDRF and SDRF teams are ready. However, the river Kapili is on rise, so there might also be floods in the region, for which flood preparedness teams are on action. They are ready to move at any point when such kind of situation arises in Assam.
Right, Preeti. Thank you so much for bringing in all those day progresses, and there is some more update, but now we are tracking some more updates. 2 from Hassan have now been identified as Naveen Gora and Chetan have been arrested by SAT for allegedly circulating pen drives containing explicit videos of several women being abused by Prajwal Revanna. So this is the latest update that we are tracking on the Prajwal Revanna sex scandal case, where 2 from Hassan have been identified as Naveen Gora and Chetan and now have been arrested arrested by SIT for allegedly circulating pen drives containing explicit videos. Now, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Akshara. Very good morning, Akshara. You've been tracking all the details on the ground. Take us through what next, especially after the arrest of these two.
Oh, well, you see, now the SIT has arrested, as I mentioned, these two individuals, Naveen Gowda and Chetan, and they were allegedly behind the circulation of the videos. Now, remember, this is what the BJP was pointing out, why those two individuals or any other individuals behind the circulation of the videos were not being arrested. These were the questions that were being posed by the BJP. And yesterday, these two individuals who were booked and also given as notice by the SIT, they had applied for an anticipatory bail plea, and while they came to
here, but this particular case, they were picked up by the SIT and they were arrested. So yes, these two individuals, Naveen Gowda and Chetan, they have been arrested, and there will be questioned pertaining to the circulation of the videos. One, the Naveen Gowda, this individual was allegedly behind the circulation of the videos on social media of all the purported videos of those women who were sexually abused. And the second individual, who is identified as Chetan, he was said to be behind the distribution of a pen drive containing these all explicit videos. So yes, these two individuals have been picked up. On the other hand, on May 31st, Prajwal Revanna has said that he'll be returning to India. That is much awaited. So these two individuals will be questioned pertaining to the videos, where they got the videos from, whether actually the said videos of all this sexual abuse. So all those pertaining to all those aspects, this investigation will be taking place. And as I mentioned earlier, on 31st May, Prajwal Revanna will be returning, as he has said that he'll attend the SIT investigation at 10 a.m. on Friday.
Right, Akshara, but also the talk of the town is suggesting that if Prajwal Revanna doesn't return, there will be what will be the next procedure to specially bring him back in lieu of the case, and for him to be attending all the case-related controversies on the ground and in the court, where he has to be presented and showcase notice, which was already given to him 2 weeks ago.
Well, you see, yes, before the video which he released online that he'll be returning on 31st May, there was already a lot of legal procedure that was going on. One, a blue-collar notice was issued to ensure that the Interpol will alert the location and the whereabouts of Prajwal Revanna. On the other hand, the MEA had also stated that this diplomatic passport will also be cancelled to ensure that he is sent back to India. But at the very same time, at a crucial juncture, he himself released this video where he is seen stating that on 31st May he will be in fact coming back and attending the SIT investigation. And amidst all this, you had his grandfather and also the former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda, who had given a stern warning that Prajwal Revanna must immediately return back and attend the investigation to ensure that they save some respect for his family, which has a name here in the state of Karnataka. So yes, the other legal process is that diplomatic passport will be cancelled, which will immediately ensure that he'll return back to India and attend the investigation. And in the meantime, he himself has released the video and said that he will definitely attend the SIT investigation and appear before the SIT at 10 a.m. So yes, we'll have to wait and watch how things will pan out, whether he will return on the 31st of May, and whether if not, then the cancellation of diplomatic passport will be the only route.
Right, Akshara, thank you so much for bringing in all those details. It will be interesting to watch how things spiral on the ground before or on 31st May. But now we are shifting our focus to the OBC controversy, where a political storm over West Bengal's OBC quota now continues to escalate. PM Modi, in an exclusive conversation with CNN News 18, made a scathing attack against West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee over her stance on the OBC quota. Now, PM has also alleged that TMC only wants to keep Muslims happy and has violated the rights of OBCs for the stake of appeasement politics. PM has also said that allegedly the TMC backs vote jihad in the state. Now, PM's attack comes after West Bengal's Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee refused to accept Calcutta High Court's order scrapping all the OBC certificates issued after 2010 in Bengal.
बांग्ला विरोधी मोदी भी आपको कहा जाता है। मैं बात कर रही हूँ ओबीसी कोलकाता हाई कोर्ट का जो ऑर्डर है, उस पे आपको क्या कहना है ममता बनर्जी?
ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा है, ये किसी के विरुद्ध में नहीं है। भारत की संविधान सभा ने आरक्षण किसको मिले उसकी बड़ी चर्चा की थी, और भारत के बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर कहो, डॉक्टर राजेंद्र बाबू कहो, पंडित नेहरू कहो, सबने सहमति से तय किया कि धर्म के आधार पर एक बार देश बंट गया, अब धर्म के आधार पर देश के टुकड़े नहीं होने चाहिए, और उसी में से आया धर्म के नाम पे आरक्षण नहीं होना चाहिए। अब इन्होंने क्या किया, मुसलमानों को आरक्षण वोट बैंक के लिए
राहुल गांधी भी यही कहते हैं।
ये आंध्र ने भी किया, कर्नाटका ने किया, लेकिन अदालतों ने इसको मना कर दिया कि बयान नहीं कर सकते हो। तो इन्होंने पिछले दरवाजे से रातों रात मुस्लिम समाज के अलग अलग समुदायों को ओबीसी बना दिया और ओबीसी का जो हक था उसको लूट लिया, डाका डाल दिया। मैं कलकत्ता हाईकोर्ट का आभारी हूं कि चर्चा चल रही थी लेकिन कोई इस पर थप्पा नहीं मार पाया। जुडिशरी ने ये सारे पाप को उजागर कर दिया है और इसके कारण देश में एक जो चर्चा पॉलिटिकल लगती थी वो पॉलिटिकल चर्चा नहीं थी, लोगों के अधिकारों की चर्चा थी और उसको एक बहुत बड़ा बल मिला है। और इसके कारण बौखला करके अदालत को गाली देना, जजिस को गाली देना, ये तरीका शोभा नहीं देता है।
मैंने जानते हूँ ये नॉर्थ कलकत्ता इंडिया का रहने सका, पहले स्टार्ट हुआ ये नॉर्थ कलकत्ता से। अन्याय का वो जो गलत काम सारे हिंदुस्तान में था। मैंने बोला सबको ही, जो बंगाल में करप्शन तैयार हो गया, जितना तरीके से करप्शन एक गवर्नमेंट ने तैयार किया, एकदम डीप रूट में था करप्शन। तो मेरा फाइट एक दर से बीजेपी के अगेंस्ट में और लेफ्ट साइड में वो तृणमूल के साथ ही होता है। हम लोग अभी जो लेफ्ट पार्टीज आए उनके साथ गठबंधन किया। मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी और लेफ्ट पार्टी मिला करके हम लोग फाइट कर रहा है सारे बंगाल में।
Well, political controversy is just spiraling over the OBC storm, and CNN News 18 spoke to NCBC Chief Hansraj Ahir over the OBC quota row in West Bengal. Take a look at what he had to say.
आपने देखा ही होगा कि ये खबर है कि एनसीबीसी अब जो कलकत्ता हाईकोर्ट का ऑर्डर आया है उसके बाद आप सेंट्रल लिस्ट पे भी कुछ विचार कर रहे हैं। कुछ ऐसी 37 जातियां थी जो यूपीए ने 2014 में सेंट्रल लिस्ट में ऐड करी है, उसमें से कितनी जातियों के बारे में आप पुनर्विचार कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, हाई कोर्ट कलकत्ता ने जो निर्णय दिया है 22 तारीख के दिन, उसमें उन्होंने कहा है कि 2010 के बाद जितनी भी पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार ने ओबीसी में सूची जोड़ी है वो उन्होंने रिजेक्ट करने की बात कही है। और उसी को देखते हुए हमने भी देखा है कि 2010 के बाद में जो भी हमारे सेंट्रल सूची में जोड़ने के जो प्रस्ताव आए होंगे और जो प्रस्ताव को मान्यता मिली होंगी 2010 के बाद में तत्कालीन ओबीसी कमीशन ने, तो उसमें से 2014 फरवरी के वक्त में यहाँ पर 37 जातियाँ जोड़ी गई थी
जी।
और 37 जातियाँ जो जोड़ी गई 2014 में, इसका अर्थ है कि 2010 के बाद तो जोड़ी गई है। अब हम उसकी एग्जामिन करेंगे, जांच इस तरीके से करेंगे कि 2010 के बाद की सूची है, अगर वो पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार में जोड़ी हुई थी उसमें से कितनी जातियाँ 2010 के बाद की, वो हम उसको खारिज करने का प्रस्ताव निश्चित ही बनाएंगे।
Well, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Pallavi. A very good morning, Pallavi, once again. Well, the Calcutta High Court has cancelled the OBC certificates of 77 groups. Mamata Banerjee is rejecting it, and PM Modi is now suggesting that OBCs ka hak loot liya. What more do we understand from the given situation on the ground about this entire controversy over the OBCs and the reservations that have been given to them in West Bengal?
You know, in fact, I asked the Prime Minister this question very specifically about the fact that Mamata Banerjee and the opposition parties are making a big issue about the fact that, you know, the OBC reservations have been scrapped by the Kolkata High Court. See, Kohina, of the 37, 35 of them were believed to, were seen to have been given to the Muslims. And what the PM told me, and what is the court also observed, is the grounds on giving those reservations was not correct. The grounds was on the basis of belonging to a backward community. Here, the ground which was applied by the Mamata Banerjee government was the religion, which is the Muslim. And that's what the PM told me, that there was a backdoor entry which was taken up by the Mamata Banerjee government, in which reservation were given to the Muslims, as a result of which the real OBCs, the ones who deserve this kind of a reservation, were denied that opportunity. How fair is that? And that's why I thank the Kolkata High Court of taking the right decision. Similar kind of a discovery has been made by the NCBC also, which Mr. Hansraj Ahir was talking about, that during the UPA times of the 77, 76 were found to be reservation for the Muslims, and the grounds were not so much on the OBC, but it was more on giving it to the religious minority who belong to the OBC category. Why should the others who don't belong to the minority population, and if they are backwards, not be given that reservation, is a question which the BJP and the PM is asking.
Right, Pallavi, I'll request you to stay with us on the broadcast. I'll come back to you to understand more in this. But now we are joining us on the broadcast is our another colleague, Kamalika. Very good morning, Kamalika. Well, PM is suggesting that this wasn't really a political controversy or a debate, but a debate for the rights of citizens. Take us through what is the actual sentiment of the citizens on the ground, especially pertinent to this OBC controversy that is spiraling over and over from the last few days.
Yes, definitely reservation on the basis of religion. That is one thing which the people also has reacted very strongly. And when this High Court order came, though the Trinamool Congress has opposed to this High Court order, but on the ground, the people, there is a sentiment that that the rights of the people have is not being exercised properly, and there has been a division. But there are two sides of it. In one hand, the Trinamool Congress is saying that, see, this is an order which has been done by BJP, a court order which is done by BJP. That's what they are saying. But on ground, this is a basic question that in 2012, when this entire thing came into existence, when this all those communities were included in this OBC community, then no reference of 1993, which has set up a backward commission, that was taken, and that's why court came up heavily on this, and therefore this order has come up, which has a political ramification, obviously, but on ground there has been different reactions to it.
Right, Kamalika, thank you so much for bringing in all those details. Well, I'd like to thank Pallavi, who also joined us on the broadcast and elaborated the entire conversation that she had with PM Modi. But right now, we're slipping into a very short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more news and updates on the other side of this segment.
बंद कर रहा हूँ फिर मैं।
Hello and welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Well, now we are tracking some breaking inputs from